Hi, trombones. This is a tutorial to help you learn your solo Springtime Waltz by Franz Baer. Let's begin by looking at the time signature. So we are in 3/4 time. So 3 beats in a measure instead of a normal 4. And you have 2 flats in the key, which is pretty normal for you, B flat and E flat. We're going to play lots of B flats in this song and a couple of E flats here and there. So I'll help you find those as we get to them. First of all, I want to point out that there is a 4-measure extended rest at the beginning of this song. If you are performing this solo with a piano accompaniment or a recording, then you are going to want to observe those 4 measures of rest. If you are in my class, however, we are not playing with the accompaniment, so we are going to begin right on measure 5 as the very first thing that happens. So let's begin here. You have an F1, D4, and B flat 1. So F, D, B flat, 1, 4, 1. So as we are practicing this, I'm going to go through this with you measure by measure, but make sure that when you are practicing it on your own, once you learn the first measure and the second measure, you practice those 2 measures together, then learn the third measure and then the fourth measure, practice those 2 measures together, and then put all 4 of those measures together at once before you go on to the next section of the piece. This way you're learning in smaller chunks and you're more likely to be able to remember what you're doing. So while you're welcome to go all the way through this video today with me, be sure that you are pausing this video to practice these little sections 1 and 2 measures at a time. So I'm beginning F, D4, and B flat. And then in the second measure, I'm going to go to a C6. Notice that this is a dotted half note in measure 6. It's going to take up all 3 beats of the measure because a dotted half note gets 3 beats instead of 2. So it's going to sound like this. Now, something we need to talk about in trombone world is that this curvy line right here between the F and the D is called a slur. And it means that we're going to tongue the first note and typically not tongue the second note. However, because you are playing a trombone with a slide, in trombone world, we don't ever really truly do a slur. You're going to just very lightly tongue this second note. So it's basically going to sound like do, do, do. So we're going to use that loo sound on the second note just to make it sound very smooth and connected. So listen for that as I play that for you again, starting on the F. And then measure 7 and 8 are exactly the same thing. F, D, B flat, and C6, except for one thing. When we play this at measure 5, we're going to play it mezzo forte. So the M stands for the Italian word mezzo, meaning medium. The F stands for the Italian word forte, meaning strong. So we're going to play medium strong or medium loud, as we sometimes interpret that, which is about like normal talking voice as I'm talking to you right now. And then when we do this the second time in measure 7, we're going to play it piano. Piano is the Italian word for soft. So in other words, what we're really doing here is we're playing a nice, beautiful sound in the first 2 measures, and then we're going to create an echo. So this part will be softer. So here's measure 5 through 8. So the judge is going to want to hear that difference in the volume level when you perform your solo. So make sure you're working that into your practice. Let's continue. Measure 9. So again, I have that little slur figure here. Do, loo, do. So the second note under the slur, we're going to use the soft tonguing, the loo sound. I have a B flat, C6, and a D4. So 1, 6, 4. Let's just do that little part. Measure number 10. I have my first E flat. So 3, D4, and 6. 3, 4, 6. Measure number 11. D4, C6, and B flat 1. 4, 6, 1. And I'm going to end this little section right here with a C6. Notice once again that I have my C6 just like I did in measure 6 up here, which is going to be a 3-beat note. So I'm going to play this little section from measure 9 to 12. Measure 13 is exactly the same as measure 5. And measure number 14 is exactly the same as measure 6. So I'm not going to do those over again. You can roll the video back and listen to those parts if you need to. Measure 15 and 16, you can see I have 15-16, 15 through 16 is a 2-measure extended rest. So we are going to observe this. You would count through, so you need 2 measures of 3 beats each. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. So make sure you are counting those in your head before you come in at 17. Measure 17 is very, very similar to measure 9. 17 and 9 are identical. And measure 18, though, is a little bit different from measure 10. So let's start at measure 18. I have E flat 3, F1, and right back to E flat 3. 3, 1, 3. So let me put that together with measure 17. And we'll end this little section right here with a half note D4, C6, and then going down to the B flat in first position. 4, 6, 1. So I'll start here at measure 19. Measure 21 through 24. We have another 4-count or 4-measure extended rest. For my classes, since we are not going to count through all 4 of these measures, you will just put your horn down, bring it back up, indicating to the judge that you have observed a rest right there and that we're just going to kind of fast forward, and then you'll start here at measure 25. If you are playing with an accompaniment, then you're going to need to count 4 measures of 3 beats each. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, before returning. Typically, we put our instrument down for the first 2 measures, and then in the third measures where you would need to bring your instrument back up into playing position. The 4th measure, you would take your nice big full breath and be ready to come in at 25. So let's look at 25. So I have 3 notes exactly the same. I have 3 C6s. Now, if you are playing with an F attachment, I trust that you already know how to play C on the F attachment. So I'm not going to go over those fingerings with you. If not, you'll just play in a normal 6th position. Measure 26, C6, D4, and E flat 3. 6, 4, 3. Measure 27, D4, F1, and back to D4. in that section at measure 28 with a B flat, a 3-count note with a dotted half note, 3 beats. Measure number 29 is exactly the same as 25. So we have, and measure 30 is exactly the same as 26. So I'm not going to do those again. Do notice that we have another echo though. So we're starting mezzo forte here. And then the second time it happens, it will be softer, piano. Measure 31 and 32, however, are different. So you have a D4 followed by C6, and we're just walking down to the B flat 1. 4, 6, 1. So I'll play that little section for you from 29 to 32. Thirty-three through 36, we have another 4-measure extended rest. So instrument down, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, back up, 2, 3, 4, breathe, play, and that will bring us to measure 37. 37 is exactly the same as measure number 5. 38 is exactly the same as measure 6. Measure 39 and 40 are exactly the same as 7 and 8, except for one thing. Here at the beginning, we had an echo with the piano. And then down here at this little section, 37 to 40, you don't have that. Okay, so this whole section will stay the same. It will just say mezzo forte, medium loud all the way through and not get any softer. The ending is different, so let's check this out. So measure 41, I have B flat 1, C6, and D4. Little walk up right there. I'm going to continue that walk up with an E flat 3, F1, and back to E flat 3. We've done this before. Right here at measure 17, that's a little repeat of that section basically. So I'm going to play this part, 41 and 42. Measure 43, you have D4, C6, and then we're going to continue that walk down to a B flat, first position. Now, this is not a slur. We've had all these slurs all over the place. This is slur, this is slur. A slur is when you have different notes. Means that we're going to play it as smooth and connected as possible, tonguing the first note and then the rest of it just as smooth as possible. But this is something different. This is a tie, and I know it's a tie because this is exactly the same note as this. So this is a second line B flat, and this is a second line B flat. And what a tie does is it joins these two notes together and makes them one note instead of two. So I am going to do a little bit of addition here. So I have a 3-beat note plus a 1-beat note. So this is now a 4-count note. I'm holding for 4 beats. Now, in my own music, that may mean I need to do a couple of things right here. You might need to take your pencil out and draw an arrow to remind you that you're just going to hold air all the way through this. You might need to write yourself a note. Write 4 beats up here. Or in my music, my favorite way of doing is just drawing an X over this note right here. Just put an X that tells me I am not going to tongue that note again because I'm just holding it. So I might have an arrow and an X to make sure that I don't play it again. So this is now a 4-beat note on B flat. And now that is all the measures in the solo. So I am going to make this a little bit smaller, hopefully. Can I do that? Nope, it won't let me go smaller. Okay, I'm going to start at the beginning, and I'll have to adjust a couple of times to pull the page up for you. And notice the tempo up here. So we have allegretto. That means it's a little bit fast, but not like super fast. Okay. And target tempo for this is quarter note is equal to 116 beats per minute. However, I would argue with you that that is probably more of a woodwind tempo than it is going to be a trombone tempo. So mostly what, as a judge, I'm looking for in you playing this on a trombone, is it clean? Is it beautiful? Are you hitting your positions? Are you playing as smooth and connected as possible? Are you remembering to play with the dynamic markings? How loud is it going to be? How soft is it going to be? Those are the things that are going to be most important to me as a judge. So if it needs to go for you a little bit slower than that to make those things happen, that's okay. Most judges are not going to be sitting there with their metronome making sure that you're exactly at 116. But I'm going to go ahead and play this through for you to give you an idea of what it will sound like once you've worked it up. Two, three, two, two. One, two, three, two, two, three, three, two, three, four. One, two, three, two, two, three, three, two, three, four. Ready? I hope this tutorial is helping you prepare for your solo. Good luck as you practice, and I wish you good luck as you play your solo for your judge.